All right, well, that's what she's going to have to do. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is how I do one aspect of Facebook social media marketing that seems to work really well. So we got Juan here. He just made a flyer. I think it looks good. I'm going to go download it. Or actually, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go to his page, find the thing. And so what we're looking to accomplish here is we're going to create a single post that will go onto the Studio Percussion page with a link to the actual flyer image, so the URL for that. And then it'll be something you can literally just copy and paste and put anywhere at any time. So you? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so there's the flyer he made. It looks good. I'm going to download it. So that's downloaded, and then I'm going to go to the Studio Percussion page. That one. And we're just going to make some sort of general post about it because the flyer is really going to say what it needs to say. So, what did I just click on? Okay, photo, upload a photo. And it's going to be wherever your flyer is. Where's your flyer?
Downloads, maybe?
Oh, I clicked on. Yeah, you're right. Downloads. All right, so that's uploading.
All right, honey, I'll see you in a minute.
So I'm just going to put something kind of just general there. How do you spell your last name?
SALGUERO.
Say it, I'll do it again.
ALGUERO.
How do you pronounce that?
Salguero.
Salguero. So we're excited to have Salguero on our teaching team. He is an expert in drum set and more. Please check out his flyer for more information and our website for more information at studiopercussion.org. And then what I'm going to do here, there might be a more efficient way to do this, but once that uploads, actually I'm going to add something here. So I'm adding, we offer lessons in more than just drums.
Make it plural. Scholarships.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. we also have scholarships available. So there's that thing. So that's going to be that post. Now what I'm going to do that I think is kind of significant is instead of having to like recreate posts all the time, we can actually, there's an option here. If you click under options, if you go to embed, and go to advanced settings, you got all these like other options for things, but what we can actually do is just highlight this URL here, and then once we've done that, what that does is when we go back to here, we can actually just post that here, and it brings up that whole flyer, the flyer and the text all right there. And then I always do this too though, actually, is so it looks better to somebody reading this, is I copy that text and I put it up here, and this is either going to do what I want it to do,
You
or
can delete that and it'll stay there. The
What?
actual link.
well, here's what we're going to do with those. When I start posting this in other groups, that's where that link becomes important.
Okay.
So actually, I think what I'll do is when it does the preview thing, it always chooses the first link, so I'm just going to put that down there. So I didn't change in the information, but so what you got is the little general statement. Then you have the URL for the flyer of that post that we made, and then some blurb about Steer Percussion, and then some blurb about we offer more than just drums. We also have scholarships. So that whole thing we copy. So there's two types of posting that I do, and I'm showing you guys how to do this because you should be doing this, not just me. I do this, but I get blocked on Facebook a lot because I do this a lot. So if you guys help me out, then you guys can help promote. So on the Studio Percussion page, what I'll do is I'll take a post like that, and we already posted it for today, but what I'll do is I'll schedule it. So we did it Friday, so maybe I'll just choose every Friday. I'll just have it scheduled every Friday until I run out of dates to schedule. Oh, it has to reload. Now, Juan, what I would like for you to do is I'm just going to do like the first month. And if you could just copy and paste that, because I'll make you an administrator on here.
Okay.
You can, what I don't want is like the same stuff posted every single day, but I think about once a week is okay.
Yeah.
Because we have, like, think of it, we have multiple things being posted all the time. And I don't care what time it posts, it's just on there. What's going on? I'm just closing that thing. #21st schedule, and this should let me press something. Why is it not doing it? Alright, so let me refresh that. Now we do get, of course, people that see our posts from our Facebook page, and they might share it with other people and tag people in it, and that stuff definitely happens. So that's why it's good to do this. And by scheduling it ahead like this, it's just automatic. You don't have to think about it every day. So I'm just going to do the first month. So if on your own, if you could do the second month and so on,
Okay.
that would save me some time.
Got you.
And then we're going to do another thing. It could be because my internet's probably not the best here. Let's try again. I promise you it's a faster process if you have good internet. Alrighty. Come on, let's work this time. Yay. Okay, so we just did the first month. So that flyer and post that we generated, that's going to happen every Friday approximately 4:28 p.m. And it's going to look not like that. It's going to look like that. So it's going to have the general information about who we're talking about, and then that link is actually what provides this, so you don't have to keep posting the image. It pulls it up from the link.
Got it.
All right, so that's really cool. So that's how you do it on our own page. Let's drive me bonkers. Okay, so here's the other thing that I do. I'll type in Gainesville, and then I'll type in or click on groups, and then under groups, I'll type in. I mean, any groups is fine. I'm like a member of like pretty much any group that's in Gainesville, but you have to sort of pay attention to who you're marketing to. Like these people at Gainesville Car Friends, they don't want to see posts about music lessons. That's just not what their interest is. So what I'll do is I'll go down this whole thing, join any groups along the way that I haven't joined yet, but I've already joined a lot of them. So what I'll do is I'll go down and do things like this. This group is actually one particular group that they'll like. It's the only group like this. Gainesville Business Word of Mouth. If you post and self-promote yourself, they'll remove you from the group. So I know that. So we're gonna move on. I'll post in Gainesville Childcare because parents and families look at that, and I'll post in buy-sell groups. I'll even post in hiring groups. I've noticed they never kick me off. Don't post in a bike group. Grow Gainesville's like a plant group. Don't post there. And so what I'm actually doing right now is I'm opening up new tabs, and you're starting to see them happen. And I'm not going to do... This one's a parody website. Don't post there. Like, they post things there to make fun of it. I wouldn't necessarily post here because this is sort of like a smaller group dedicated to a specific thing. But the more general groups, even this one, Gainesville Comunidad Latina, that's like a Latin group. Gainesville Freebie groups because we have the scholarship stuff, Puerto Ricans. So I'll pause on that for a second, but here's what I do. Now that I have all these tabs opened up, this is sort of a way for me to organize myself. So what I'll do, watch this. This is so cool. You don't have to type anything. You just paste that thing in there. So this is the same copy and paste from that first page on our studio page. See? And post. And then while that's taking its time to post, I'll go ahead and do the next one. And you have to do it under Start Discussion if there's an option for that. And I'll finish this today for you. You don't need to do this today since I started it. But I do want you to finish the scheduling on the Studio Percussion page. And if for whatever reason I forget to make you an admin on there, just remind me and I'll do it.
Okay.
I plan to do it today. I got a lot going on. I might forget. And once you get used to this process, it's like pretty automated. I mean, you're physically doing it, but so what's going on now is however many thousands of people are on all these groups are potential thousands of people that are getting this information that they might either use it for themselves or pass it on to a friend or whatever. Then word of mouth spreads and people will be like, oh man, did you see there's this new drummer guy teaching at Studio Percussion? And like if it's a Latin group, they're gonna be like, oh, he's a Latin guy. And then that works. People like that demographic stuff. All right, so now here's the next cool thing. They've all posted now. So I can just close them all out. And then I'll just start doing the next. Gainesville punk history? Sure, why not? It's related to music. I've noticed with anything that's student groups, they don't seem to care what you put in there. So I go ahead and do that too, because why shouldn't we be advertising to college students? Pokemon Go? Nah, those people don't really care. Gainesville Bass Family? I don't even know what that is. Oh, dubstep stuff? Sure, we'll put that in there. Drums are like related to dubstep. Gainesville for Sale, Gainesville Talks. Probably not Gainesville Hackerspace. Those are like kind of nerdy people that'll probably boot you from the group. Gainesville community events? Sure, why not? And you'll notice over time, like some people, if it's a group and they don't like you posting in there, they'll like send you a message or they'll comment on it and say, hey, this is not appropriate here. And then just out of courtesy, go back and delete it. Ornamental gardeners? Probably not. Jobs hiring in Gainesville? Sure. So I'm going to pause with that here. Just to show you, I'm going to follow the same process. Paste it in there. Let the preview come up. Click post. And we got another new guy named Sammy. You met him the other day, didn't you? Sammy, the piano player?
Yeah.
He's like super driven, like you are. So like this video will be great for him. I know he'll watch it and study it, and then he'll get really savvy to how this works. This is really not all that complicated. You just have to learn how to do it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, I came up with this on my own. Nobody taught me how to do this. I was trying to figure out what's a really efficient way for me to let a lot of people know about things we're doing. Okay, so here's a group I'm not a part of. I just discovered that, so I'm going to join that group. And I may not be able to post today because it's pending, but the next time I go through this cycle, I'll be a part of the group. Because there's always new groups being generated. Keep going. Now what will happen, and this happens with me because I post a lot, is when they see that I'm doing a lot of Facebook group activity as quickly as I am, oh, here's another group I'm not a part of, so I'm going to join that. They're asking me a bunch of questions. I'm not going to do that right now. Maybe later. Facebook, I don't know how they decide this, but if they see that you're doing a lot of group activity stuff, then they'll like put limitations on your account and say, oh, you can't post in a group for 7 days or something like that. I'm not a part of that group, so I'm going to join that. Probably asking questions. Yeah, I'll deal with that later. Now, some groups, when you join them, they'll ask you questions. But usually the questions are pretty simple questions, and just answer them and be general about them. They're going to ask, like, are you in Gainesville? That last group was a Zumba group, so you're going to be like, what kind of Zumba classes are you interested in? I would probably say, I don't know. I'm just here to learn. Like, I would just do something like that. So, now these have all posted, so now I can close all these out. Look at this. So here's literally what's just happened is however much time it's taken us to make this video, we generated a post, we made it in a way that we could copy and paste it from our own page, and which is kind of cool because actually we got 3 links going on. You got a link to the flyer, you got a link to our website, and then because we're actually pulling up a post from our fan page, there's a link to our fan page there actually as well. So when they click on the flyer, it takes them to our fan page, where they can like us if they want to like us. But I don't know how many groups I just posted in. It was at least like 25 or 30, and however many thousands of people are represented there. Because you look at all these groups, you can see how many people. Like this one has 8.3 thousand members in it. So when I post in a group like that, that's potentially that many people that are seeing the thing. And by and large, people don't get mad at us and they don't consider it spamming. Some people might, but here's what I actually do is if somebody's going to be a jerk like that, I usually just block them. Because if I block them, whenever I make another post, they don't see my post ever again, and therefore they can't complain about it.
Fair.
It works. So, I don't know. So that's how you do this stuff, and I do this about once a week. The scheduling thing on our page, set that up, and I think it's good for like 6 months. And then in another 6 months, you got to do it again. But this group stuff, I do it about once a week, and I try to like vary it up. It's not always going to be like a Friday afternoon, but I try to vary it up and try to do it about once a week. And I guarantee you it generates leads. All right?
Cool, man.
That's how that works.